In this 6-minute video, I will show you how I went about installing this new rubber in an old Quarterlight window from an A30. It's the same window as an A35. I purchased the rubber from the Austin A30-A35 Owners Club. First, I removed the window because the frame is a little bit flexible, and then we can remove the inner frame. It's a bit stiff, so you need to apply a fair amount of force. I used a wrench to increase my grip and to be able to press down a little bit harder. As you can see, the rubber is not in great condition anymore and it will peel straight off. Sometimes you're lucky and you can remove the thing in one go, but usually the rubber is quite far along and perished, and you need to resort to tools to get the rubber out. I used a right angle pick and a screwdriver to get most of the rubber out. It was quite a task though. The old rubber isn't usable anymore, so after I clean up the workspace, I sanded the frame down a bit to prep it for paint. Chrome on this Quarterlight is actually pretty good, so I taped the chrome up to protect it from paint, and then I proceeded to spray it with a black matte paint. This is just to protect it from rust, as it's not going to be visible on the car. The frame is assembled with rivets, but the rubber does not really allow for these rivets. So we need to modify the rubber, and I used a Dremel to Dremel out some pockets right on these spaces. I found that a tool like this works best. I also tried with a knife, but that just doesn't leave a nice result like this. Next we need to modify the rubber, because this hinge protrudes in the same channel as the rubber goes into. The manufacturer did leave some space, but the middle part needs to be removed, as I've found. Not sure why they did this, but they also did it on the bottom. The bottom part is not the hinge, but it's actually the part that the little latch catches behind. Here you can see the other side. This rubber I already finished, and I made a slit right above the little edge. Here you can see the positioning. The way I measured where the little slit should be is I poked a knife from the bottom right through the edge, and that made a little dimple, and I marked the little dimple, and that is the starting point of my cut. Again, notice the positioning of the slit. It is a couple of millimeters above the ridge of the rubber. And now we are finally ready to start working the rubber into its frame. You want to start in the corners and get it right up in there. And maybe you need to use a tool to press the little lip underneath the channel's lip. I used a little plastic one just to be sure that I don't damage the frame, but sometimes you might require a screwdriver, a metal one. It really comes down to the frame, how narrow it is, but on this particular one I had to resort to a clamp, a little block of wood that goes into the channel, to really press it inside the channel and work the edge in there with a screwdriver. The order is quite important. I started with the corners and then worked my way around, leaving this straight bit for last. To get the hinge into place, I used a screwdriver to gain a little leverage, and then it snapped into place. After this, you can install the glass, because you need that springiness without the glass to get the frame in there. On this particular one, the rubber seal, or the rubber inside the frame that holds the glass, was quite good. So with a few taps of a rubber mallet, I could get it to sit in there flush so that the window really closes up. As you can see, all nice and done. But if yours, and I had this on the other side of the car, does not really have a proper rubber seal anymore, you can use a bit of inner tube from a bike to make a new one. And here is the finished article. I hope you found that interesting and helpful. Please do check out my other videos as well, and I'll see you next time.